The number one best potassium-rich food on planet Earth is something I'm going to tell you in just a minute, but I first wanted to cover what not to consume as far as foods, which are considered high potassium foods. We have bananas, potatoes, plantains, which by the way have more potassium than bananas, beans, and sweet potatoes. Every one of these standard recommended foods for increasing your potassium is a starch, which means they have a lot of sugar. I mean, bananas have like 27 grams of sugar. So starch is a hidden sugar. No one's going to eat a raw potato, so they're going to cook it. So you're basically eating something that's going to turn into sugar very quickly. So yes, they all are loaded with potassium, but they're also loaded with a lot of sugar. Now, beans are loaded with fiber, but they also contain starch, and they do create bloating for a lot of people. Some people can consume them, but some people can't. I can't eat beans without getting severe bloating. But there's certain beans that are better than others, but typically beans do raise the insulin level. And that's why I put it on the no list. But the number one food for potassium is this right here. Avocado. One avocado has about 700 milligrams of potassium. Zero starch, that means zero blood sugar spike, zero net carbs, super healthy fats, which slow the digestion, allowing you to absorb more potassium. And avocados also are loaded with magnesium that works with potassium and allows potassium to work in your body. As compared to eating banana, the digestion is very, very quick. So you're going to get this massive blood sugar spike, and then you're going to be hungry for another banana in about 20 minutes. But not with avocados. Avocados are super satisfying. They also have a lot of other nutrition, including B vitamins and certain minerals. And I eat a lot of avocados with my eggs, with meat. I put it on my salad. So a lot of people ask me, what supplements do I recommend? Now, of course, I'm not biased of my own high quality supplement line, but if you go to Amazon and type Dr. Berg supplements, you'll find more information. Now, this next one is very surprising. Wild salmon has 970 milligrams of potassium. And I'm talking about like a half a fillet. And make sure it's wild caught, not farm raised. Salmon has zero carbohydrates. It has a good amount of magnesium, and it's loaded with omega-3 fatty acids. And what you're going to find on this list right here is a common theme is that the foods that are loaded with potassium are also loaded with magnesium. So you can kill two birds with one stone, especially since you need magnesium for potassium to work in the body. Now, let's talk about leafy greens. These three leafy greens have the most potassium. Swiss chard has 1,000 milligrams of potassium per cup. Beetops have 1,300 milligrams of potassium. Spinach has 840 milligrams of potassium. Now, the way that I recommend cooking this is not to boil them because potassium is water soluble and it's going to actually leach out, go into the water, and deplete your food of potassium. So I would recommend sauteing them or steaming them. Or if you're going to boil them, just slightly boil them, not too much. The carbohydrates are super low because they're very high in fiber, but they have good nutrients in them, especially potassium and magnesium, and also vitamin K1. One little point about spinach is if you cook spinach, you get 840 milligrams of potassium versus raw spinach, it actually is lower. So you do want to saute spinach as well as these other vegetables. Now, I know some of you are sitting there going, wait a second, you're just telling me to eat 3 vegetables that are very high in oxalates. And for some reason, people just don't want to get kidney stones. An oxalate is something that combines with calcium and that can form stones. It can irritate the body. Well, there's some additional data I want to share with you. Number one, if you consume calcium while you're eating this, aka cheese, you will dramatically reduce the amount of oxalates that are going to irritate things because they'll bind in your intestine with the calcium and then go through the intestine and not be reabsorbed and end up in your kidney. But the other big thing is that all of these right here are loaded with magnesium. Magnesium greatly helps reduce the formation of kidney stones. In fact, in a lot of research I've done, and I've done videos on this, magnesium is the antidote to preventing kidney stones. I recommend adding magnesium to the diet on a regular basis, especially if you consume these, and that way you can prevent the formation of kidney stones. And also, if you consume 2.5 liters of fluid every single day, the odds of you getting kidney stones are much less than winning the lottery. because a kidney stone is a super concentrated oxalate calcium stone, and if you're drinking enough fluid, it'll never form. And of course, I'm not telling you to consume massive amounts of this, but these are good sources of potassium and magnesium. Now, there's some other foods that actually are really surprising. Portobello mushrooms have 530 milligrams of potassium. And I'm talking about just 1 cup. So you can saute them with some butter and some sea salt. Quite delicious. Another very surprising source of potassium is tomato paste. So in certain dishes that you use, 2 tablespoons tomato paste gives you 400 milligrams of potassium. And then, of course, cream of tartar, which is actually a form of potassium. It's potassium bitartrate. You probably have it in your cupboard right now, but cream of tartar is potassium, and you can use that in various recipes as well. And just like a half a teaspoon is 250 milligrams. I mean, some people even dissolve a little bit in some water and drink it as a potassium supplement, especially if they're on a ketogenic diet. So now that you know what you should be eating to increase potassium, the next vital thing you need to know is how to get more magnesium, because potassium cannot work in the body without magnesium. And for that information, you need to watch this video right here. Check it out.